You ever notice how you walk into Costco just to grab a couple of things, and somehow 2 hours later you're wheeling out a cart full of stuff you didn't even plan on buying? And it's funny, right? Because somehow, in that moment, it feels like a bargain. I mean, $5.99 for a pack of 48 rolls of toilet paper? Sure, why not? Or that enormous tub of hummus that's basically the size of a small child? Yep, I'll take it. And yet, when you step back and really look at the receipt, oh man, your wallet is whispering, "What happened?" My name's Nick, and I spend way too much time thinking about money, why we buy the things we buy, and how retailers sneakily, sometimes charmingly, shape the way we spend. Costco has this magic trick where it makes you feel like a savvy shopper, like you're winning at life by getting a deal. But honestly, there's a side of it most people don't think about, a hidden cost, a markup, not the one printed on the shelf or even the one in dollars, something subtler, more psychological. And it's fascinating because once you see it, it changes how you walk through every store, not just Costco. By the end of this, you're going to look at your membership card differently. You might even question some of the habits you didn't know you had, like how often you buy bulk snacks that last maybe 2 days. It's not just about saving money, it's about understanding why we spend the way we do, why we get hooked by certain retail setups, and how small decisions add up in ways we never calculate. So let's dive in. The allure of the bulk. Walk with me for a second. Picture the Costco entrance, those giant pallets stacked high with cases of water, endless cowers of cereal, and for some reason, a mountain of those enormous frozen pizzas that could feed a small army. You know that feeling when you see buy one, get one free or value pack? That little dopamine spike in your brain. Yeah, that's the first hidden markup. It's not a dollar amount, not yet. It's mental. Because here's the thing, buying in bulk feels smarter. If a single jar of peanut butter costs $4 at your local store, but Costco sells a pack of 3 for $10, suddenly you're saving $2, right? But here's the twist. How often do you actually finish all 3 jars before they go stale, or worse, before you forget one at the back of the pantry and it's basically a science experiment? I learned this the hard way. I once bought a 12-pack of giant protein shakes thinking, I'm basically investing in my health here. 2 months later, half of them expired while I was still sipping on one. The dollar savings disappeared, but the psychological satisfaction lingered. That's the invisible markup. They're charging you for optimism, for your mental accounting. You think you're getting a deal, but really you're paying extra in attention, storage space, and sometimes even wasted food. Takeaway, bulk buying is only valuable if it matches your actual consumption. Otherwise, that deal has a hidden cost. The membership fee illusion. The sacred Costco membership card, $60 a year for a gold star or $120 for executive. When I first joined, I honestly thought, well, if I save $5 per shopping trip, I'm already ahead, right? That's what they want you to think. But the membership fee itself is a genius little markup. Why? Because it primes your brain. Once you pay it, you feel committed. You're like, I've already spent $60, so I better use it wisely. Suddenly, picking up extra items doesn't feel like spending, it feels like reclaiming value. Psychologists call this the sunk cost fallacy, and Costco nails it. And here's where it gets sneaky. Studies show that members actually spend more because they paid the membership. It's like paying for a gym membership and then feeling guilty if you don't go. You're already invested, so you go more, or in Costco's case, you buy more. Personal reflection, I found myself justifying things like the giant Nutella jar, the 12-pack of avocados, and that 3-foot-long baguette, all because of the membership. And honestly, it's smart marketing, but it also adds a hidden markup to every dollar you spend. Takeaway, membership fees make you spend more than you planned. A simple mental trick they use costs you extra money even if the item itself seems cheap. The all-consuming loss leader mirage. Ever notice the ridiculously low price on rotisserie chicken? $4.99. That's basically, what, a quarter per leg? Crazy. And then you see the $60 organic kale bundle or the huge bottle of olive oil. The rotisserie chicken is a classic loss leader. Costco takes a small loss on it to lure you in. Here's the kicker. While you're admiring that bargain chicken, your brain is wandering. You pick up chips, soda, a giant tub of ice cream, and suddenly you're spending $80 on necessary groceries. You think you're being frugal, but the markup is sneaky. It's all in the extras you didn't plan for. Story time. My friend Jake went in for the chicken, walked out with a $200 cart of frozen snacks and kitchen gadgets he didn't know he needed. And the rotisserie chicken? Still delicious, but it's like a gateway deal to full-blown spending. Takeaway, watch the anchor items. They lure you in, but the real markup is in what you feel compelled to add. Packaging tricks and unit prices. Now let's talk about how Costco packages its goods. They're masters of the unit price illusion. You'll see a jumbo box of laundry detergent. On the shelf, it says $12.99 per container, but then you notice the tiny print, 10 cents per ounce. Now compare that to the smaller store version, $1.50 per ounce. Wait, what? Seems like a massive deal, right? Here's the thing. Humans aren't wired to calculate unit price on the fly. We see the big number, compare it to the price in our heads, and feel smart. Meanwhile, the actual savings might be meh. Add to that the hassle of storing huge containers, lugging them home, and trying to use them before expiration, and the mental cost increases. Personal reflection, I'll admit I've had laundry avalanches in my apartment. Giant boxes falling over, spilling powder everywhere. Honestly, $12.99 doesn't feel cheap when you're cleaning up your floor. Takeaway, always check unit prices and match quantities to your real usage. The packaging can make savings look bigger than they actually are. The emotional spending factor. Here's the part that's honestly the most fascinating. Costco is not just a store, it's a psychological playground. The lights, the music, the massive aisles, the free samples. It's all designed to put you in a specific emotional state. Hungry? Tired? Curious? They're ready. Free samples are a sneaky trick. You taste a bite of cheese, a slice of pizza, or a spoonful of frozen dessert, and suddenly your brain says, I need this in my life. That's not conscious, it's primal, and it's effective. I've literally bought things I didn't need because I tried a sample and my brain said, yes, you deserve this. Story, last month I was grabbing my usual snacks, but the sample lady had these mini scones. They were tiny, cute, perfect, $12 for a box, and I bought them. I didn't even eat all of them. That's emotional markup at its finest. Takeaway, be aware of how the store environment affects your spending. Taste, sight, and even smell can add invisible costs to your trip. The perceived value effect. Here's a fun one, perception versus reality. Costco makes everything feel like a deal. Giant tubs of nuts, fancy olive oils, artisanal breads. Your brain interprets bulk and high-end packaging as value, so you pay more than you would elsewhere thinking, well, this is a luxury item and it's actually cheaper than other stores. Truth is, some of these products aren't cheaper, they're just different. Bigger, more visually appealing, marketed as premium, your mind does the math incorrectly, and you end up paying for the perception of a deal, not the deal itself. Example, that $20 Himalayan salt block sounds fancy. It is, but it's also basically a brick of salt. Could you get something similar elsewhere for $5? Probably, but your mind says, it's Costco, so it's a good deal. Boom, another invisible markup. Takeaway, always question perceived value. Bigger or fancier doesn't automatically equal cheaper. Actionable strategies to outsmart the markup. Okay, so we've been through the bulk illusions, membership traps, loss leaders, emotional spending, and perceived value. Now, what can you actually do? Plan before you go. Make a list. Stick to it. Avoid the wandering. The aisles are seductive, but your wallet has limits. Check unit prices. Don't just compare total price. Compare per ounce, per item, or per serving. Skip free samples if necessary, or at least acknowledge them consciously. Taste, enjoy, but don't buy unless it aligns with your plan. Calculate real savings. Think beyond sticker price. Storage, consumption, expiration, factor that in. Set a budget. Membership fees can trick you into overspending. Know your limits before you walk in. Honestly, I've tried all of these, and some days I still fail, but awareness changes everything. Once you see the hidden markup, you start shopping smarter, not just cheaper, and that to me feels like real freedom. So here's the thing. Costco is brilliant. They make shopping feel like a treasure hunt, a game, a victory lap every time you walk out with a receipt that looks impressive. But if we're honest with ourselves, there's a hidden cost behind every bulk pack, every rotisserie chicken, every free sample. It's psychological, emotional, and sometimes physical, like storing giant tubs of hummus you didn't need. But knowledge is power.